Good morning, dear listeners. You are listening to 91.2 FM Hello Haldwani, the community radio station of Uttarakhand Open University. I am Miss Bhavna, and with me today is my colleague Dr. Megha Pant. Today, on the birth anniversary of Walt Whitman, we pay tribute to one of the most influential poets in world literature. Whitman transformed poetry through his innovative style and his celebration of democracy, individuality, and humanity. On this special occasion, we shall explore his life, his masterpiece, Leaves of Grass, and the ideas that earned him the title of the Bard of Democracy.
Listeners, Walt Whitman occupies a unique place in literary history. Born on 31st May 1819 in Long Island, New York, he emerged as a poetic voice that spoke not only for America but for humanity as a whole. His writings transformed the landscape of modern poetry and continue to inspire readers across generations and cultures.
Indeed, ma'am, whenever Whitman's name is mentioned, one work immediately comes to mind, and that is Leaves of Grass. This collection is often regarded as his greatest achievement. First published in 1855, it began as a relatively small volume but gradually expanded as Whitman revised it throughout his life.
Yes, Bhawana, that is what makes Leaves of Grass so fascinating. It was not simply a book but a lifelong project. Through its many editions, Whitman continuously refined his ideas about democracy, nature, spirituality, and human identity. The collection reflects his growth both as a poet and as a thinker.
Even the title itself is deeply meaningful. Whitman chose grass as a symbol because it grows everywhere and belongs to everyone. It does not recognize distinctions of class, wealth, or status. In this sense, grass becomes a symbol of equality and universal humanity.
Absolutely, Bhavna. Whitman beautifully expresses this idea when he writes, quote unquote, a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars. This remarkable image connects the ordinary with the extraordinary. It reminds us that even the smallest elements of life possess beauty, dignity, and significance.
And one of the most important themes in Leaves of Grass is the celebration of the individual. Whitman believed that every person possesses inherent worth and dignity. This idea appears clearly in the opening lines of Songs of Myself. Quote unquote, I celebrate myself and sing myself.
These lines may seem self centered at first, but Whitman's concept of the self is much broader. He is not celebrating himself alone, he is celebrating humanity through the individual. For Whitman, every human being is connected to others and to the larger universe.
And this belief naturally leads us to Whitman's democratic vision. In fact, he is often called the bard of democracy. He viewed democracy not merely as a political system, but as a recognition of the dignity and equality of every individual.
Exactly, Bhavna. Unlike many earlier poets who focused on kings, nobles, and heroic figures, Whitman celebrated ordinary people, farmers, laborers, sailors, workers, mothers, and common citizens all find a place in his poetry. He believed that literature should represent the experiences of all people.
I remember one of his famous quotes statements reflects his democratic spirit. Quote unquote, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. These words express his belief in equality, mutual respect, and universal brotherhood.
And that is one reason Whitman's poetry remains so relevant today. In a world often divided by social, economic, and cultural differences, his message reminds us of our shared humanity and our responsibility to respect one another.
Ma'am, while discussing Whitman's democratic ideals, we should also mention one of his famous poems, O Captain, My Captain, which is widely studied and admired even today.
Certainly, O Captain, My Captain occupies a special place in Whitman's literary career. It was written in 1865 following the assassination of American President Abraham Lincoln. Whitman deeply admired Lincoln and regarded him as a symbol of democracy, national unity, and moral leadership.
What makes the poem particularly interesting is that it differs from Whitman's usual style. Most of his poetry is written in free verse, whereas O Captain, My Captain follows a more traditional structure and rhythm.
That is correct, Bhavna. In the poem, the captain symbolizes Abraham Lincoln, while the ship represents the United States of America. The nation has successfully completed a difficult journey, referring to the American Civil War. But the leader who guided it to safety has tragically died. The poem opens with the famous lines, quote unquote, O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. These words immediately establish both a sense of achievement and a deep feeling of loss.
The emotional impact of the poem becomes even stronger through the repeated refrain, quote unquote, fallen, cold, and dead. The repetition emphasizes the grief and shock experienced by the nation after Lincoln's assassination.
Indeed, the poem is an elegy, a poem of mourning, and it beautifully captures the sorrow of a people who had lost a beloved leader. At the same time, it reflects Whitman's deep commitment to democratic values and his admiration for Lincoln's efforts to preserve national unity.
Although O Captain, My Captain differs in style from much of Leaves of Grass, it remains one of Whitman's most enduring works and serves as a powerful tribute to Abraham Lincoln and the ideals of democracy.
Absolutely, the poem demonstrates Whitman's ability to combine personal emotions, national history, and democratic ideals into a work that continues to move readers more than a century later.
Nature also occupies a central space in Whitman's poetry. He did not see nature merely as a beautiful scenery. Instead, he viewed it as a source of wisdom, renewal, and spiritual insight.
Indeed, for Whitman, nature, humanity, body, and soul are deeply interconnected. His spirituality was not confined to traditional religious doctrines, rather, he believed that divinity exists within nature and within every human being. This universal outlook gives his poetry a timeless quality.
Another aspect of Whitman's contribution that students frequently encounter is his use of free verse. Before Whitman, poetry generally followed strict patterns of rhyme and meter.
Whitman challenged those conventions by adopting free verse. His lines are long, rhythmic, and conversational, resembling natural speech. This freedom of form allowed him to express expansive ideas about democracy and human experience. Because of this innovation, Whitman is often remembered as father of free verse.
Among all the poems in Leaves of Grass, Songs of Myself remains the most celebrated. The poem explores identity, spirituality, democracy, and humanity's relationship with the universe. Song of Myself is also in our syllabus, MAEL 605, and one of his most memorable lines is, quote unquote, I am large. I contain multitudes.
This statement suggests that human beings are complex and capable of embracing many experiences, emotions, and perspectives. Whitman encourages us to accept diversity both within ourselves and within society. His poetry repeatedly emphasizes openness, inclusiveness, and self discovery.
Another quality that readers admire in Whitman is his optimism. He had immense faith in human potential and believed in the possibility of personal and social progress.
Very true. His poetry inspires confidence and resilience. One of his most frequently quoted lines states, quote unquote, keep your face always toward the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you. Even today, these words continue to encourage readers to face life's challenges with hope and determination.
As we celebrate Walt Whitman's birth anniversary today, it becomes clear that his poetry extends far beyond the boundaries of time and place. Through Leaves of Grass, he created a powerful vision of democracy, equality, individuality, and human dignity.
Indeed, Whitman's work continues to inspire readers because it speaks to universal human concerns. His faith in humanity, his respect for diversity, and his belief in freedom remain deeply relevant in the modern world. That is why he continues to be remembered not only as a great American poet but also as a global voice of democracy and humanity.
Dear listeners, thank you for joining us on this special program dedicated to Walt Whitman on his birth anniversary. We hope our discussion encourages you to explore Leaves of Grass and discover the richness of Whitman's poetic vision. Thank you for listening to 91.2 FM Hello Haldwani. Have a wonderful day and keep exploring the world of literature.
Goodbye.